Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing something very different. We're going to be looking at how courage works. Many of you may be asking, well, I know how this works, but it's an old mechanic. It's kind of an old mechanic now. However, it's kind of complicated. Like if you're coming into the game now or something you never learned, it is a very weird and it's a very different mechanic than people might be used to. So what is courage? First off, courage is it is a blue ability, which means it's not a buff or a debuff, and it can only come from Padme Amidala, and it comes through her leadership, and it also functions only with Galactic Republic. So basically, what's going to happen through different mechanics? Padme and other members of the Galactic Republic are going to give something called Protection Up. What is Protection Up? Well, we're going to see here. Protection Up functions as a buff that covers your protection so that instead of your protection taking damage, your protection up takes damage. And it is going to be a purple buff that applies right into your protection. So we're going to use Grandmaster Yoda, and you're going to see this now. And you see on Grandmaster Yoda, he still has a little bit of this purple protection. That is protection up. And we can actually read that here. Yeah, protection up. It functions as bonus protection. Well, what happens with Padme is she now takes her turn. What happened is that she had a bunch of this protection up still in her system, but when it came to her turn, that protection up was converted into courage. It was converted into 6 stacks of courage. And basically what that means is she is now going to do max health damage to an opponent. What is max health damage? Max health damage depends on your opponent's max health and not on your own damage. So we're going to go ahead and use the basic here, and you'll see there are going to be 2 damages that come up. There's going to be the damage from the attack, and there's going to be the max health damage from the courage. And you need at least 5 stacks of courage to deal 40% of the target's max health damage. So you're going to hurt them, and the courage is also going to hurt them. So this is why sometimes really, really weak characters can do a lot of damage. Like we'll use this with Padme now, and you'll see. There'll be 2 damages. All right, so we had a red damage up top and a white damage in the bottom. So that's kind of the basics of it. And this is important to understand because it can allow some really, really weak characters to do lots of damage. Like we'll go ahead and put in someone really weak here. Let's go ahead and put in Mace. Mace is a pretty garbage character right now. Mine doesn't even have mods on, but he's Galactic Republic, so he'll work for this testing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do what we did with Grandmaster Yoda before. And now you see that Mace is starting to build up this purple protection. We're actually going to build it up again with Padme. And, all right, so Grandmaster Yoda has 12 stacks here. So we're going to go ahead and hit Crew, actually. Crew is actually immune. He's immune to attacks like Courage that hit for max health. So he might actually even survive this. Or maybe not, because Grandmaster Yoda is very strong. Okay, so he survived it. So he's completely immune. There's no problem there. He'll probably survive Padme's... Oh, no, Padme got a critical hit. And this is what I want to show here with Mace. So Mace now has 14 stacks, and Mace normally hits really, really weak. But we're going to go ahead and hit Luke, and you're going to see just how much damage he's going to do to Luke's max health because of the courage. So he almost killed him, even though my Mace is super, super weak and doesn't even have mods on, because the damage was relative to Luke's max health and not Mace's damage. Other important thing, you see that there are different numbers for courage right now. For example, Mace has 4, Padme Amidala has 12, and Grandmaster has 4 as well. If you don't have 5, it does nothing. Let's go ahead and hit Jedi Counselor here, and you're going to only see the red damage, you're not going to see the white damage. Yep, so there was no bonus damage because it only had 4. Well, this goes for Padme as well. She has 14, so we're going to be able to use all the 5s. So we're going to be able to use 2 5s. We're going to be able to use a total of 10, and she will have 4 left over. Even if we hit who probably has the most health right now. She's going to have 4 left over after hitting Talia. Oh, or actually, no, the base just killed him. So that was a bad example. But that's basically how it works. There are a lot of members of the Galactic Republic that give this purple protection up. The main ones are, of course, these 2 that I've already shown. Jedi Anakin does it on his AoE. Ahsoka does it on her AoE. I believe General Kenobi, I think he does it on this ability right here. Actually, no, but he has a different interaction with Protection Up where he gets to taunt because of this unique. Like, anytime they lose Protection Up, he taunts. So So he doesn't give it, but he has a good interaction with it. And another character that gives it is actually going to be 3PO. 3PO, he gives it every time anyone gets a buff. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You do damage not based on your own damage, but based on the opponent's max health. And you need to end the character's turn with that purple protection. If the enemy strips that purple protection off of you and you don't get to take a turn, then you don't get the courage. So that makes things like Scion's AoE very powerful because it will strip all the buffs off, including this protection up. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope this was helpful.